Clash of the Classics.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Clash of the Classics. Today's feature is made possible by our friends at the Automatic Transmission Rebuilders Association. ATRA is the largest as well as the oldest transmission network in the world. If you're experiencing a transmission problem of any kind, before you do anything, check them out at atra.com. All right, let's jump right into this. I'm Donnie. I'm your host for the next few minutes, and today it's going to be a blast. It's all about the 1969 Chevy Nova SS 396. Not all street racers were out to call attention to themselves. A lot of them got their kicks by embarrassing some of the flashier, or maybe the high-dollar muscle cars, shutting them down with raw speed, stealth, and acceleration. The Nova SS 396, for the most part, seemed ideal for that, but as with many things, looks can be at least a bit deceiving. Chevy had redesigned its compact for 1968, but the look was still pretty much subdued. The chassis design, however, was shared with the Camaro, so now the big block engines would finally fit. And sure enough, that 396 V8 appeared as a Supersport option midway through 1968. For 1969, the 396 L78 was available with 375 horsepower. It was nicknamed the Hoodlum Nova, and building one started with the SS package. It added $280 to the base price of a Nova pillared coupe and included the 300 horsepower 350 cubic inch V8. It also included special suspension, red stripe F7014 tires, and power front disc brakes. Replacing the 350 with the L78 cost right at about another $500, but even with the $184 close ratio 4-speed, there was a $43 limited slip differential and then an $84 fast ratio power steering option. The price was still pretty decent, at least decently affordable, at about $3,500 or so. SS badges, black accented grille and tail, and simulated hood air intakes marked the exterior, but nothing shouted supercar. Still, with the L78 under the hood, I guess you could qualify this as definitely a sleeper car. The 396 numerals on the fender were the first clue that this wasn't Mom's Nova. Beyond that, the racket of the lifters and the throaty rumble from the dual exhaust confirmed any lingering doubt. Now, I actually found an article written back in 1969 where Car and Driver magazine wrote, "The junior Chevy with the senior engine is an instantly recognized and feared street cleaner. The 396 Chevy 2 sure wasn't the invisible sleeper we had expected, but it was every bit as wild as we had hoped." End quote. Well, not only did the SS 396 stuff big power into a 3,400-pound package, it put right at 55% of the weight on the front axle, and that's pretty favorable weight distribution that very few muscle cars back in those days, even today, could brag about. But even so, torque and tire slip were a challenge to control off the line. A lot of people used cheater slicks, and they, for the most part, solved the problem. And while it's true they may have given away the notion that the car was tame, as soon as the engine fired up, all doubt was removed anyway. 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds. This thing would blast through the quarter mile, and right at 14 and a half seconds at 101 miles an hour. And here's the thing, whether you're a fan of this car or not, I think most people would agree that this would certainly be the Nova model to have. Nova's never been one of my absolute favorites. I do like it, but if I was going to have one, I certainly would have this model. Thanks to everyone for hanging out with us today. That's just about all the time we have. Big thanks to everybody at the Automatic Transmission Rebuilders Association. ATRA makes our Clash of the Classics possible. Next time you think you have a transmission problem, you even have a transmission question, always check them out at atra.com. We'll see you next week.
Passing down this garden road.